Yo, what is up, everybody? Teresco back again. Another chapter from the story titled Friend, written by Skeleton Girl 95. Remember to use the links in the description below. Show love to the author. Like, comment, and subscribe. Chapter 5. Once they entered the house, Teresa took a long look around as memories of their childhood flashed into her mind. She remembered how her and Nico would sit at the top of the stairs and watch their mother walk around, talking to the spirits that came to her. Teresa ran her hand over the stair railing, stopping when she felt a small carving. A sad smile formed onto her face as she looks at it. It was a strange looking symbol. If anyone was to notice it, they wouldn't think anything of it. But she knew all too well what it meant and why it was there. Nico watched her as she leaned on the walls, arms crossed over her chest. Nico wore the same sad smile. Do you remember the day Mom carved that into the railing? Not really. I remember running downstairs and feeling it as my hand passed it. Do you remember? Nico unfolded her arms and pushed off the wall. Teresa, watch as Nico started to walk to the dining room. Without being told anything, Teresa followed her. Nico walked to the table that sat the three middle of the room and pulled out one of the chairs. Nico gestured with her hand for Teresa to take a seat, still not saying a word. You know, you can just say take a seat. Nico placed her arms on the table, resting her chin on her hands. She gave Teresa a serious look. This wasn't something Teresa was used to seeing on her sister's face. Nico was always so carefree and never serious before she could ask Nico about it. Nico asked something first. Have you seen Friend yet? At least twice. Why? What did he look like? He still had that serious look on her face, and Teresa sat back in the chair and closed her eyes, trying to recall how he looked. Tall, skinny, long black hair, long sharp claw-like nails, and solid black eyes, sharp teeth. Nico gave her a sad look before lifting her head off her hands. Nico rubbed the back of her neck as she let out a frustrated sigh. Well, guess we should start from the beginning. Teresa sat up straight at hearing this. Finally, Nico was going to tell her everything he knew about Friend and maybe even help her get rid of him. Or at least she hoped Nico would help, if not for her, then for at least for Mimi's sake. Well, the first thing is, his name is Frederick Day. He was a murderer in the late 50s, early 60s. He was caught and hanged for his crimes. Who did he kill and how many? Teresa, does that really Yes, it does. Fine, but remember, you asked. I was just gonna skip it. Fred was a very smart and twisted man. All his victims were families. He would befriend the children of the family that had the misfortune of being his target. Teresa sat there in shock, so many thoughts running through her mind. She shook her head to try and clear it before she brought her attention back to Nico. Nico watched Teresa's reaction and waited a moment before she continued. He told the children he was their friend, that they should call him friend. He told them not to tell their parents because he wanted it to be a surprise when they met him. He used the children to bring their parents to him. Once they did, he would torture the parents for days to a week before killing them. As he did all this, he would make the children watch, telling them that they were the cause of their parents' death. Once he seen that the child was broken completely, he then would kill them as well. Teresa let out a shocked gasp as she covered her mouth with her hand. That was just horrible. Making a child watch something like that would obviously break their psyche. Then he took their life as well? The number of deaths that were found were about 100 to 200. No one is sure if there was more or not. They could only get a rough number from him before he was hanged. Nico finished, hoping this was enough for Teresa. Nico knew more details about the murders, but she didn't think Teresa could handle all of it. How did he get caught? Well, he thought he was unstoppable, but his last target was his downfall. He befriended the child, but unlike the others, this child told his parents about Friend, and everything he said, and where his playhouse was. And of course, they called the police. There was no trial or investigation once the police found him. And his playhouse, that was all they needed. They kept him alive for a week, trying to get all they could out of him. Once they figured out he wasn't going to tell them anymore, they killed him. And that was the end of him. Where was he killed? He was hanged on a nice big tree in your backyard. Is that why he's around Mimi? Because she plays around that tree? No. Just being around the tree wouldn't be enough to do it. Teresa then crossed her arms over her chest and gave Nico a stern look. You know how this happened, don't you, Nico? Yes and no. Meaning? Meaning, Mimi probably found something that he's connected to. Plus, your past with Friend probably didn't help. What do you mean my past with him? Look, Mimi. Look, Teresa. Why do you think Mom carved that symbol on the stairs? When all Teresa did was shrug her shoulders, Nico finally realized what happened all those years ago and why Teresa's personality had changed so drastically when they were kids. Their mother did something to her. Nico just hoped this wouldn't break Teresa's psyche. Teresa used to be able to see Friend. Teresa stood there frozen in shock. Only one thing going through her mind. Why couldn't she remember any of this? Now, ladies and gentlemen, the end of our chapter.